Okay, so the rain has finally stopped. After this just unbelievable cataclysm, there's silence. The entire world is just water. And inside this one boat, you have what's left of humanity and the animal kingdom, just floating and waiting. So what happens next? Well, that's the story we're getting into today. Let's dive in.
So try to put yourself in Noah's shoes for a second. The storm, the big crisis, that part's over. But the danger? Not even close. You're floating on a literal world-sized ocean. I mean, if you open that door at the wrong time, it could be game over. So the whole rest of this story is really a quest, a search for one critical piece of information. Is it safe to go outside? Is the world ready for us again?
And boom, right here, this is the turning point. This is where everything changes. You know, it's not just a matter of sitting around and waiting for all that water to evaporate. The text is super clear. There's a direct intervention. God sends a wind over the earth. And that wind, it's not just, a breeze. It's the moment the story pivots from pure survival to restoration. The healing process for the entire planet has just officially kicked off. Okay, but let's be real, this process is anything but quick. I mean, the scale of the flood was just mind-boggling. So it makes sense that the scale of its retreat would be too. This whole first part of the story, really, is about an incredible amount of time passing. It's about the patience, the waiting that was needed to see the world come back to life. Just look at these numbers. The sheer length of this waiting period is wild. For 150 days, that's 5 months, the water is just slowly going down. It's not until the 7th month that they finally feel that bump, that solid ground of a mountain underneath the ark. And even then, it takes another 3 months before they can even see the tops of the mountains. This timeline really just hammers home how incredibly slow and gradual this whole process was. So, okay, the mountaintops are visible. They wait another 40 days, and at this point, Noah seems to decide, all right, enough waiting around. He's got to be proactive here. He can't just sit there hoping for a sign. He's going to send out some scouts, right, to actually investigate what's going on out there. And this is where his very methodical search for land really begins. And you got to notice his approach here. This is not random at all. It's basically a careful 4-step experiment. He picks 2 totally different kinds of birds, and he sends them out on repeated missions. He's literally gathering data, trying to figure out what's going on in a world that is completely, totally alien to him now. And the difference between these 2 birds, it tells the whole story. The raven, it's a tough bird, a scavenger. It can land on pretty much anything, a floating log, whatever was out there. So the fact that it kept flying back and forth told Noah, okay, something is starting to poke through the water, but it wasn't a world you could live in. Now the dove is different. It's more delicate. It needs a real place to land, a clean, dry spot. So when it came right back to the ark, that was a clear signal. Nope, still all water out there. The world is not ready.
And then you get this moment, the breakthrough, the big one. Because when that dove comes back, it's not just empty-beaked. It has an olive leaf. And think about what that means. It's not just a sign of dry land. It's a sign of life. A freshly plucked leaf means a tree survived. It's growing. This is the first piece of hard, undeniable evidence that the earth isn't just drying out, it's flourishing again. This is the green light. This is everything Noah was waiting for.
So with that olive leaf in hand, the whole mood of the story just shifts. That long, long period of being cooped up, of waiting and sending out birds, it's finally over. Now it's time to actually see this new world for themselves. Time to take the first steps into a whole new chapter for humankind. And what's amazing is how precise the text is right here. It's not just sometime later. No, it says, in the 601st year of Noah's life, on the 27th day of the 2nd month, the earth was finally completely dry. That's a specific date on the calendar, marking the absolute definitive end of this whole ordeal. Their year-long confinement is officially over. And right on cue, with the world finally ready, the command comes down. Just like they were told to go into the ark, now they're told to come out. This is it. This is the official starting gun for their new lives. It's like a divine permission slip to go out and start over, to repopulate and work the land again. Now, what happens next? You could argue this is the single most important part of the whole story. Because Noah's very first move on dry land, it's not building a shelter, it's not finding food, it's an act of worship. And the response that this act gets, well, it lays the groundwork for the future of the entire planet.
I mean, just think about that for a second. Before he builds a house, before he plants a single seed, Noah builds an altar. His number one priority, right out of the gate, is to say thank you for being saved. And it's this act of worship, this pleasing aroma, as the text puts it, that triggers the incredible promise that is about to change, well, everything.
So here we are, after all that destruction, after this incredible act of faith from Noah, what happens now? You might expect a new list of rules, right? Or maybe a warning. But no, what comes next is something much, much deeper. It's a promise.
And this is the absolute heart of it. This is the core of the covenant, a declaration that this will never happen again. A catastrophe on this scale is off the table, forever. It's basically a promise to work with creation, human flaws and all, instead of just hitting the reset button again. This is a massive, foundational shift in the relationship between God and the world.
And what is this promise all about? It's about stability. It's about establishing the reliable, predictable rhythms of the world we all know. Seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night. These cycles are now set in stone, an unbreakable, dependable pattern. After total chaos, this is the ultimate promise. The world will be stable. So that leaves us with this really powerful idea to chew on. Think about it. After the single most chaotic event you can possibly imagine, an event where the laws of nature themselves were basically turned upside down, what was the very first, most profound promise for the future? It was a promise of normalcy, a guarantee that the sun will rise tomorrow, that the seasons will change, that the harvest will come. Maybe, just maybe, the greatest gift you can receive after total chaos is simple predictability. It's a fascinating way to look at it, isn't it? Hey, if you enjoyed diving deep into the meaning behind stories like this one, do us a favor and like, share, and subscribe. Here at The Explainer, we love digging into the source material that shaped our world. Thanks so much for joining me.